We found the emergence of a new type of employee, and that is the permanent casual. In fact, the Australian Bureau of Statistics think that their estimation of casuals in the workforce is probably underestimated, and we find this too, because when you say to people, do you have a permanent job? They say, oh yeah, I've got a permanent job. But if you say, do you get sick leave? Do you get annual leave? Do you get long service leave? Oh no, don't get any of that. Can your boss sack you without any notice? Oh yes, they can. So we've got this concept of a permanent casual. And curiously, we have a large number of them who've employed, I've got a stat here that says 15% of casual employees have been in their jobs for more than 5 years. More than 5 years as casuals. We're also seeing the emergence of fixed-term employment. It's being used heavily by employers to avoid the costs, again, with standard employment conditions, like leave, notice of termination, and it's being particularly in the public sector. For example, what we're finding in TAFE, where about 80% of teachers are either casual or fixed-term employment, they get employed between March and November, right? So that they don't have to pay them for the Christmas holidays. So we had TAFE teachers coming to the inquiry telling us they dread holidays, Christmas break, because they don't get any pay. And then because that break might be big enough that they can't actually accrue entitlements because they've had too large a break between November and March. So they lose their sick leave and they lose their annual leave. They don't accrue maternity leave. They don't accrue long service leave. Some of our teachers' unions have been able to overcome that a little bit by rolling over those entitlements. But these are the things that we have to actually fight and deal with. And the teachers' union is a big, strong union and they can actually do that. We've seen the growth of the workforce management industry and the use of labour hire firms. To me, this is one of the most insidious developments of the insecure work phenomenon. Businesses totally abrogate all responsibility for employing people. They use a third party, they use a labour hire firm. And what we're actually seeing is that sometimes these businesses own the labour hire firm. More and more we're seeing that. Qantas is classic for doing this. Qantas owns its labour hire firms. The big issue here, remember the Bayada dispute, the chicken dispute, I don't know if you know, but there was a big dispute in a chicken factory here around this very issue. The brothers that owned the Bayada chickens basically owned a labour hire firm where it supplied its workforce. These triangular arrangements can be very convoluted. I was in Perth last year and I came across CFMEU actually came to me about 30 Chinese employees working on a building site who hadn't been paid for 8 weeks. And they asked me to go down to the picket line because they said, gee, if you go down, they'll get really frightened, the guys who own the building site, because they're used to seeing all us burly blokes. So I go down in my high heels and my pearls and my nice frock and stand on the picket line with all these guys. Lo and behold, the construction manager comes out like a shot. Who are you? What are you doing here? I said, these guys just want to get paid. He said, oh, I can't pay them. I said, why not? I haven't had an invoice. I said, these men turn up every day for 8 weeks to your work site, they clock on, they clock off, and you don't pay them because you haven't had an invoice from someone. No. Who do you need an invoice from? I don't know. You don't know who employs these men? No. I subcontract to a labour hire firm who subcontracts, who subcontracts, who subcontracts. So convoluted that he didn't even know who ultimately employed these men and supplied them to his work site.